Aaron Sorgen joining us, the editor of Counter Read. Thanks for coming out.
I appreciate it. It could have been a little bit warmer, but it's all right. How can I complain? This is
You're
a great
also thinking
venue.
to yourself, why is the heater all the way on that side?
Right. You are getting the benefit right now more
I am
than
getting the benefit
me.
of the heater, no doubt. So making a bowl game is something we've been waiting for a number of years. Fans have been waiting for it. Heck, the dance team that's going to get a chance to go has been waiting for it.
The band.
Everybody else, no doubt about it. Just what does it mean for the program?
I mean, this has been the thing that Husker fans and everyone around this program, within this program, have wanted since 2016, and it's felt like that thing that keeps just. They haven't been able to get it done, and it feels, people kind of were poking fun a little bit at Nebraska for rushing the field, but when you think about what this did, it wasn't just a bowl game. It was like winning in November with fans since like 2018.
Right.
It was the first time beating Wisconsin in 10 tries, first time holding the Freedom Trophy.
Yep.
So, I mean, when you think about all of this combined, plus the fact that now as Nebraska you get to go to a bowl game, it's a pretty sweet deal. Celebrate. Come rush the field right now again. You deserve it.
No doubt.
Well, the funny thing is you got these kids from the student section I ran down. They were in elementary school
Yes.
the last time they made a bowl game, so they might not even realized it. Aaron, I'm going to just touch on the Nebraska success offensively they had in this game, and this is only the second game that Holgorsen was calling plays. Did you kind of foresee this success so early? And how do you kind of foresee the rest of the season playing out now with Holgorsen calling the plays for this offense?
It's always hard to know what's going to happen when you make a big change like that. It's not common in college sports to decide I'm going to basically move my offensive coordinator into a different role and elevate somebody who came in as an analyst. And I think the one thing, if I were to look at like what Holgorsen, maybe where we could have looked at it and said this was possible, is he was very, very straightforward from the get-go.
Oh.
He did not hold back when it came to the wide receivers, and the tight ends needed to do a better job blocking. He was very specific on that. He clearly just wanted to let them play a little bit loose, have more fun, and we heard that from the players after the fact that he simplified things. It was not that they were making any major changes to the offense. He just simplified it for them. So I think if we would have I think we did see a little bit of that coming, but it's always hard to know, especially because this hasn't really been done. But it was a big gamble by Matt Rule, and it paid off.
No doubt.
I want to go back on the topic of bowl games. We talked off air. Number one, how big is this now for the team's future? And then what are you hearing, Aaron, on bowls and what could be next for Nebraska?
Well, I was joking before we started that I have a surprising amount of bowl contacts for covering a team that hasn't been to one since 2016.
Yeah.
And everyone I've talked to has pretty much said the exact same thing. If Nebraska is an option and available to them, they want Nebraska because they know that the history this team will bring. They know the fans this team will bring. Everyone is really hungry for a bowl trip, especially if it's somewhere warm. And it's now a matter of what is available for these bowls when, Nebraska comes up as a talking point. Obviously, there's some things that have to be considered. They can't take Nebraska if the other team that they'll be taking has more than, if they have 2 more wins than them, it has to be a 1-game difference. Now, they can reach down if it's the team that they want to take otherwise is 7 wins and Nebraska is 6. They can do that if there's other options elsewhere. But winning against Iowa will definitely open up even more options for bowl games to ultimately select Nebraska.
Yeah, and the way we're looking now, 4 teams from the Big Ten are going to be into the college ball playoff, so I certainly move some things around as well. But is there a place that you'd like to go?
Well, I mean,
all the media would like to go.
I think all the media is looking has probably a place like Tampa or Phoenix circled very, very clearly. I think Tampa is an option. I think ReliaQuest, they did have 2 representatives in Memorial Stadium for Wisconsin, Nebraska. I will say, I think that 7th win will matter. Iowa has been to Tampa in the ReliaQuest Bowl more recently. I personally believe whoever wins on Friday could probably circle Tampa and say that's where you're heading. The other thing that you're saying about with 4 teams getting into the playoffs, there's also the fact that the Pac-12 still has its bowl tie-ins. So you have USC and Washington who will be heading to those as well. So that does open up more availability for it's harder to say older Big Ten teams because how much older are they really at this point?
Right.
But there's a lot of bowl game options out there, especially with the strange dynamic of the conference shifts this season.
No doubt.
Let's talk. I want to on the top of the bowl game, but you have guys like Bryce Benhart, Isaac Gifford, Nash Hutchmaker, Ty Robinson. They didn't have to come back this past year. They could have transferred. They could have put their name into the NFL draft. But now they could say, hey, I'm a part of something that got Nebraska back on over this hump, and you're going to leave Nebraska better than hopefully where you found it, and how important it is to those guys who decide to come back to finally get this 6th win and get this momentum going.
I think of players like Luke Gifford and Mick Stoltenberg, who wanted so badly to help project Nebraska forward and didn't maybe see the payoff of their efforts in the end, but in reality now those efforts were ultimately helping lead to where Nebraska is. So when you think of where the seniors today are, they're not only doing this for themselves, they're doing it for every senior since 2016 who hasn't had this moment. And I think that's why we saw so much of that emotion, was them just realizing not only did they do this for themselves and the fans, but for every player that came before them that wasn't able to do this over the last 7-8 years. And I think that's a lot of, sometimes that can be a lot of pressure, but they've handled it with grace, and it's great to see them have that moment, seeing all the photos and the videos after the game with them. I hope that this is always a really sweet moment for them, and that they do realize that all of those seniors before, I can't remember who was on, there's a couple of them on the field, the former players who you could see they were so joyful.
Yeah.
So they didn't just do it for themselves.
And I thought it was pretty cool. Matt Rule said, Aaron, that he is going to travel back last year's seniors, the Ethan Pipers and guys like that Luke Reimer, and let them go on the bowl trip.
That's actually, I'm glad that you said Luke Reimer. That is who I saw on the field. He was in the background of a photo, and it was the greatest thing. He just had this giant smile on his face. So when you're a senior this year, you can feel good that you have helped accomplish what so many before you wanted to, and they were ultimately helping lead to this. And I love that. I love also that Matt Rule said this is the last time Nebraska will celebrate 6 wins. You had to get here so that you can keep going further.
Yeah, it's tough to be kind of coined the savior. But Dylan Raiola, as a freshman, comes in here, and you see him, his mom's crying, he's hugging all his family. I mean, it means a lot for these freshmen, too, that are getting this thing started.
I mean, Dylan's said that from day one, that he wants to help get Nebraska not only to a bowl game. I always appreciated even earlier in the season when he kept bringing up the playoff as an option, because you shouldn't not have goals. And I think for so many of these freshmen and then the incoming, recruiting class, they see Nebraska as a place that they can not only play early, but also help bring Nebraska back to the status and the place that Nebraska wants to be, not only in the Big Ten, but in the national conversation. So it starts with those young players, and they're helping elevate it.
Aaron, I know you and Brandon Volga at Counter Read do such a great job with statistical information. Love what Brandon throws out there.
Brandon more than me.
Yes. Well,
Take some credit for it.
Well, hey,
Somebody's got to edit it.
Right.
Exactly.
But how about, we haven't talked about this yet, but here on this stadium, in this field this year, Nebraska's defense did not allow a rushing touchdown.
Incredible.
Yeah, and think about the tackle for loss against Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin not a big tackle for loss team to begin with. However, not to have, the fact that Nebraska's offense didn't allow itself to lose 1 single yard against Wisconsin, that's big. So when you're looking at those statistical pieces, you're starting to see things come together. You're starting to see things fall into place. It might not always feel like you want to see the mountain, and sometimes you have to see the molehill to see the mountain come into fruition. So when you start to look at those little stats, and when Keith Mann sends those out, and you're like, oh, wow, that's the stuff to hold on to and feel pretty good about as a team.
Aaron, obviously the Iowa game's Friday, but the next 10 days after are so big. You have signing day on Wednesday the 4th. You have bowl selections December 8th. The transfer portal opens December 9th. How crazy are those first 8, 9, 10 days of December going to be for college football?
Well, it's a good thing that Dana Holgorsen loves Red Bull. I hope he's ready and just stocked up on everything. That's the one thing about college football coaches is they drink a lot of energy drinks.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to need it. This is going to be a very intense time because you're also looking at other sports in the thick of their seasons as well and getting ready for what's ahead there. And if you're Nebraska, those 10 days are going to be intense, but they're going to be worth it. So I just imagine there's not going to be a lot of sleep around here. But if you're a fan, I would just say settle in and buckle up because this is a new one with how early the signing day is this year. We're already starting to see some shifts. We're going to start probably seeing maybe some more commitments, some more interest. It's going to be intense. So the good news is I'm sitting next to somebody who covers recruiting very thoroughly. It's going to be busy.
No coaches on the road, which will be a big difference. Usually after the Iowa game, you're in an airport on Sunday to get into schools on Monday. No coaches on the road now till January, which is going to be a completely different calendar than we've ever seen in the history of
But
recruiting.
there will be coaches being hired because their job's open too. And with all the jobs that Tony White was up for, like, you never know what could happen with that too.
I know. That's the one thing that, like, just even think about, like, is Holgorsen going to stick around?
Yep.
Will he end up being Nebraska's offensive coordinator in 2025? I know he wasn't. He did joke that he's going to take Saturday. He's going to take the Saturday
He's gonna
after
rest.
Iowa off. And my favorite was he was sitting there and he looked around the room and he's like, I'm doing that, just so you all know.
Yeah.
Watch football, Dana Holgorsen. Have a good day.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, what's Tony White going to do? What's anyone else on the staff going to do? Is Dana Holgorsen going to stick around?
Marcus Satterfield.
Marcus, what's his plan?
Right.
There's a lot of unknowns, and that will ultimately shift what happens with maybe your recruiting class too.
Aaron, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming and sitting outside with us.
Of course, I mean it's feeling warm now.
It is warming up.
It's warming
Yeah,
up.
no
Maybe
doubt.
it's the heater.
Balmy,
It's the
30
sun not coming
degrees.
out
It's,
to
it's
hell.
a dry heat, right?
Yeah, it's that the whole thing of, like, if it wasn't windy, it would be perfect.
Exactly. It's not the heat, it's the humidity.